XRP is a scam, says Rajat Sani, CFA. He has a pretty long and detailed thread. I was going to do a full retort to every single slide, but I think the main point I want to make is this. We got to move past this type of myopic thinking. You know, some really smart people are involved with Bitcoin's network and its architecture and the way it runs. It's open source. If they wanted to, they could switch over to the same exact system that the XRP ledger has or Ethereum 2.0. There's a reason they chose that architecture. But in the same light, if Bitcoin was clear in a way the only way to run a network, well, XRP could do the same. We could move it over to nodes and, have mining and all this other stuff. But the truth is, for Bitcoin, it's valuable to have run on very simple hardware that anyone, even myself, can run with something as simple as a Raspberry Pi. It allows everyone to run a full node and participate and have this, very large decentralized network globally, largely distributed. But when we look over at XRP, consensus ensuring that transactions, happen in a decentralized manner. But we can do transactions in a matter of seconds at very low cost. You can't say fast and cheap payments are a scam or are not valuable. And you can't say that Bitcoin's architecture is not valuable either. They both have value. You can't say that we shouldn't be doing DeFi or, any number of use cases we see being built out on other systems. This myopic view that my way is the only way and everything else is junk is just silly. And we need to start looking at, within these various segments of crypto, who are the real players doing real work, adding real utility. And the rest of it is just really a waste of time. So that would be my message here. For the people that say, well, Bitcoin's slow and therefore it's worthless. Well, its architecture is kept like that for a reason, for a purpose. The same way XRP ledgers is. And they both can work in this global system of cryptocurrencies and build value in their own lane. And that's really what we're seeing happen. I thought there was a great post here by Moon Lambo. He says, you know what? If there's not going to be a Bitcoin ETF, if it's not going to be approved, why is the SEC having so many meetings? So I've been talking about this. This feels very different from what we've seen from past ETF applications where someone just chucks one in and waits around and gets a denial. Like they're meeting on the regular basis. This sure feels like our moment, like this is going to get done. They're fine-tuning, making little adjustments. What I would caution you is, I think it's going to happen now, but it doesn't mean it has to happen this exact round. Doesn't mean it can't get pushed out maybe one more. It's possible. They get it very close and maybe they can't solve the custody problem. I've talked about that. Within exchanges, there probably should be some segregation between custody and trading. We don't really see that well right now. They might have to do some fine-tuning beyond the time frame we have for this round. If it gets denied, people are going to flip out. You're going to see massive price moving down. And really, it just tells us we are close. This is different. No doubt. Moon Lambo is correct. It probably gets done now because we're dealing with your BlackRocks, your Fidelities, some heavy hitters here that must think they have the answer today and they can get this thing through. But if it doesn't happen, it's going to happen. It is not like the past. This is nothing like we've seen in the past on these ETFs, and it's going to expand well beyond Bitcoin. These big players, they're not going to leave the rest of the crypto market alone and say, well, we'll only have Bitcoin and everything else that can go to the traditional exchanges. No. They want in, and they want all of it. Best believe that. But just don't think it has to happen 100% for sure, even though I think it will. I could see the possibility it gets kicked out at least one more round to fine-tune some minor little details. Not a big deal. It's happening, and very likely in 2024, if not in January. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe it happens before year-end. But again, this is wildly different, and it is happening, and it will expand well beyond just Bitcoin. Speaking of the same thing, people are saying, you know what, a spot Bitcoin ETF, it's going to be a bloodbath for crypto exchanges. And what they're looking at is the cost to trade ETFs. Well, it's much cheaper than it is to trade crypto on your traditional exchanges. So people are saying, well, a lot of your trading is going to flee traditional exchanges. And that's true. I think a lot of people, investors specifically, will like having their value in an ETF that's secure, it's insured, they trust, BlackRock, Fidelity, with all their other investments. So expanding into cryptocurrencies is going to be no different. It's going to be a slam dunk for them. But don't forget, for traditional exchanges, it's the only way I can buy that crypto asset and use it to pull it off there and actually self-custody it, because that's still going to be a thing, right? Like us crypto people, we're not going to go away and just say, oh, well, we'll let BlackRock hold all our value. Like that goes contrarian to most things that we like in cryptocurrencies. It's going to allow a new breed of crypto investor to get in the game, but the traditional people here that want to self-custody, that want to use their assets in the real world, we're still going to be around. And so I think both will grow in a big way. I don't think it's going to kill off traditional players at all. It's just going to expand this whole digital asset space in a whole new direction, and it will be a bigger market for everyone, in my opinion. I've been saying we're not going to have these struggles with government for much longer. Ripple, Coinbase, A16 invest $78 million in pro-crypto PAC ahead of U.S. elections. So I've said it before, politicians like money even more than we do. And the big money that's getting behind cryptocurrencies is going to start turning the tide here. You have all this anti-crypto rhetoric. It's going to be very simple to what we've seen, very similar to what we've seen with big tech, right? Like they have all the power now because they have all the money. Good luck trying to stop them. Well, as crypto continues to grow and become more valuable, it's going to be much the same driver here. You're going to get all of these politicians behind the crypto companies because they have the donations and they got the power. And the bigger this space goes, it just ensures we are here to stay. And I think you're going to see the tide change where you see a lot more pro-crypto politicians because, well, there's money and donations behind it. That's just starting. It's only going to get bigger from here. I see this Ripple news that we're going to see an XRP spot ETF. And make no doubt, there will be an XRP ETF someday. And the first one may be by itself or may be bundled with other cryptocurrencies. It's going to happen. You best believe that. But I don't think it's going to happen right now. You want to roll out Bitcoin. If you can get an Ether through the door, great. But you're going to want to see what the appetite is here. You're not just going to launch 1,000 ETFs and, they're going to want to see how much demand is actually there from institutions. Of course, they've already gauged that to a large degree. They have a good idea. But you want to have a few successful launches here, and then they'll start building out their ecosystem from there. I do not expect an XRP spot ETF anytime soon. Nothing against XRP or any other cryptocurrencies, but they're going to start with Bitcoin. They're going to roll to Ethereum, of course, and then they will continue expanding on down the road. Not a big deal. It's just a matter of time. It will happen, but I don't think it's going to happen imminently by any stretch of the imagination. I think it's one of these things that's going to take time to really get the market comfortable with this, and they will want to expand just like the rest of us into the broader market, best believe. David Schwartz, talking about this correlation, no one can kind of figure out why is XRP and XLM so closely correlated. And of course, there is a correlation between the broader crypto market. They kind of all move up together in a bull run, maybe at different times, but there's a movement together. During the bear market, there's a movement down. But these two cryptos seem to be linked. Why is that? Could be he's talking about there's some shared history there. Of course, you have Jed McCaleb going from Ripple over to XLM to start that cryptocurrency and start Stellar. And I think it has to do partially because we've been talking about this. You're going to start pairing off crypto into sectors. And Grayscale's talking about doing this. And people think about the crypto space like this. And I think it's going to be even more so as we go forward. You noticed this last time you saw, well, the Ethereum competitors started running up together, right? You saw Polkadot 20%, Cardano running up 20%, And I think with XRP and XLM, people pair them together as either payment tokens, they call it utility tokens. Some people call it ISO tokens wrongfully. They shouldn't do that, but they do. And so I think investors kind of pair these cryptos together. And so when they start moving, they move together. And I think it's as simple as that. Just the investing public has correlated these assets, and then algorithms do so as well. And it's just kind of like this deal where they kind of move similar in conjunction. Who knows beyond that? Does it really matter, right? Like if you have the asset, how does it perform over time? Who cares really necessarily what it's correlated with? But there does seem to be an interesting correlation between XRP and XLM. A little bit of a mystery to me, but in my mind, I think of it like that they're both utility tokens, payment tokens, whatever you want to call it. Don't even like that term, utility tokens. Everything is trying to be a utility token of some sort, whether it's being sound money, payments, smart contracts, like everything's trying to do something useful, of course, but either way, they get kind of paired in with each other for those reasons. Let me know what you think down below. And as always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.